order to do business with you. They break open your house one thing, they rape your mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well hear this now, Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go, they come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on side. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Side, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Side, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Thanks! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here.
So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us, viewers, on this Monday night. Budget has been presented in Trinidad and Tobago for 2024-2025. Feel free to call in tonight, viewers. 238-6716. We want to hear what you have to say concerning the budget that was read in the House of Representatives in Parliament today for our country. So before we start that, viewers, remember, I always encourage you, Real Talk Finance is offering you 4% on our fixed deposit. Now, with this 4%, you are going to get your interest up front. When I say interest up front, is that you do not have to wait until your fixed deposit mature. You are not getting a part payment of 3 months or 6 months or 1 year. No, we are not doing that on Real Talk Finance. What you are getting is your 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. When you accumulate how much your interest will be, you are getting it up front. So when you come into Real Talk Financing and you sign up your fixed deposit, whether it's cash or check, once it is cleared, we are going to call you and tell you, come collect your interest. That is how we do it at Real Talk here. So remember that, viewers. Tell your family, tell your friends. Now, in the fixed deposit department in Trinidad and Tobago, we are leading thus far. You know why? We are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is giving you your upfront interest, whereby you can go for vacation, You can pay down on a new car. You could do house repairs. And I'll tell you something, a smart person would understand that what you are getting from Real Talk is better than any other financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago. The best fixed deposit rate in the country is at Real Talk. 4% interest up front, nowhere else is giving you that. Remember, I am Saieed Ali. I am the managing director of Real Talk Group of Company. I am also the president of Real Talk Credit Union. So remember, viewers, if you want to enjoy your interest up front, you're going to get that. Only at Real Talk Financing. Also, be a member of the credit union, viewers. Start saving today for a better and brighter future. Remember, viewers, we are a group of company. We are also expanding in Guyana. Very soon, you're going to hear a third branch of Real Talk Credit Union opening in South also. So remember that, viewers. We are growing. I am here to change banking in Trinidad and Tobago. So call our office, viewers. Set up an appointment. And come on down. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Only at Real Talk you're going to get a bargain that you are not getting in any other financial institution. We are here to stay now, viewers. We are here to stay. So as I said, very soon you're gonna hear a third branch of Real Talk Credit Union opening. So many of you, drop our numbers here, guys. Many of you are wondering, but Saieed, on a quick span, Real Talk Credit Union is expanding. That is our numbers, viewers. The first number on the screen, 3391670. It is my number. You can contact me. The second number, 2427690, is our number at Sipera Road, Victoria Village in San Fernando. 2386716 is our central number. And also, you can call our south on Sipera Street, viewers. Come back to me. Remember, so during the course of last week and this week, well, this week now starts, I had a lot of calls, but Saieed, credit union, your business have to be doing good in order to open a second branch in a fast pace of time. We got our license in February. We have Real Talk Credit Union in Caroni Savannah Road in Shogunas. And within a few months, we opened a second branch at Sipero Street in San Fernando. That's as you pass Scotiabank and you're going down the road. As soon as you bend the corner, same Sipero Street, those of you who know where Scotiabank was, you just pass Scotiabank, traffic light, and you're going down, and you will see Real Talk Credit Union. It's a beautiful building in San Fernando, Sipero Street. Very soon, like I said, we're going to have our third branch opening in Deep South. How are you growing so fast, Saieed? How? Trust God. Trust God. I always tell people, I trust God to protect me. I trust God to make sure that doors are open for Real Talk Group of Company to grow, local, regional, and international. So viewers, very soon you're going to see a third branch in Deep South. I just have to say the good Lord is blessing a good soul. Yeah, a good Lord is blessing a good soul. They can't match me, you know. They can't, no matter what you come with. No matter what you come with. And those that bad talk me, let me tell you something. While you bad talking me, God is blessing me. And I love that. I love that. So the more you bad talk me, the more doors open for me. I always tell people that. I always tell people that. So viewers, make an investment today. Reap the benefit today. And also, you can plant a seed for tomorrow. It's only when you plant a seed, you could reap, you know. It's only when you plant a seed, you could reap. So, you understand for yourself, if you miss out on this 4%, you may not get it again. On $100,000, you're making $20,000 in 5 years. We're just putting that money right here. You invest $200,000 for 5 years, That's $40,000 profit for 5 years right there. Right there. Where else are you getting that? Nowhere in Trinidad and Tobago. Absolutely nowhere. You're not getting a part payment. You're not getting a half-year payment. But you're getting your interest up front. That is how we do it here at Real Talk. Very soon we'll be in Barbados, viewers. Like I say, we are spreading our wing. I am a leader, not a follower. And you know, today I just thanking God for today. Sometimes we need to take time and just rock back and think about the goodness that the good Lord has done for you. The goodness. Getting up in one piece is a blessing. Getting up and be able to breathe is a blessing. You get up in the morning and you could hear the birds singing is a blessing. You get up in the morning and you could see the roof or you could see the ceiling above your bed, it's a blessing. You get up in the morning and you could talk, is a blessing. You get up in the morning and you have good health. It is a blessing. It is a blessing. So remember, viewers, make an investment with Real Talk Financing. Reap the benefit of your hard-earned cash. So as we start our program tonight, this year's budget theme is steadfast resolution, forging pathway to prosperity. Embed stated that the economy has rebounded and is more stronger than it was pre-COVID. The Heritage and Stabilization Funds stands at $6.1 billion US dollars. So Trinidad and Tobago, what was there in the budget for you? What was there? I want you to tell me what was there in the budget for you 2024, 2025. 2386716, we are talking budget talk tonight. What was there in the basket for you? Did you find that you got something from the budget? Do you think that this year budget benefited you? Do you think it benefited Trinidad and Tobago? Do you think we are growing for the next 12 months to come? I want to ask you that. This is what I ask. I want to ask you, all you educated people out there, did you get something in the budget that would fit your pocket? Feel free to call in. Caller, good night.
Night, Saeed. Good night.
Go right ahead, you're live.
I would like to make my contribution with regard to the budget today. The Minister of Finance say a few things, and I am really, really concerned. She talked about oil production because we depend on oil and gas to generate our revenue, foreign exchange.
Correct.
Now nobody knows that our crude oil is being sold in the international market. We don't know what price are we getting for that, right? So
correct.
The production, let's say Heritage is producing, let's say 40,000 barrels of oil a day, and that oil has been shipped or sold to the international market.
Yes.
We don't know where that oil is sold for.
Correct.
Who it's been sold to. And we don't know that the refinery who is purchasing that oil, if they are selling back or providing the cost for fuel in Trinidad. So we don't know if it's a barter or a trade between them, all right? We don't know that, and where we get our fuels from. The other thing is that the minister indicated about the road rehabilitation program, right? When we had the refinery and we were making bitumen here in this country, our road infrastructure was so bad with the asphalt that we have here. Now we don't have the bitumen from the refinery. We have to import bitumen to mix with asphalt to fix the road infrastructure. What it is that $212 million road infrastructure could do? Because we have to pay more money for bitumen. We have less asphalt here. So what it is that we're going to do is more money and less road infrastructure. I mean, somebody has to be crazy to think what's happening. Now, the oil production, we come back to that.
Yes.
The oil production that's coming from BP, Perenco, and Shell and these companies, those oil production, those total do not come into the total amount of oil that we sold to the refinery. What happened is that the government collect royalties from those oil that we sold. So when Colin Imbut come out and tell everybody the total oil production for Trinidad and Tobago that was 60,000 barrels, whatever, right? We don't get half of that. That we only collect royalties from these companies, and it would have been about $2 or $3 per barrel they collect royalties. So Colin Imbut and them need to explain the budget to respond. The UNC opposition supposed to ask, debate these things and ask those questions in the parliament. Good night, my friend. Take care.
So we do apologize for that, viewers. But nevertheless, I found that there is no goodie in the basket for us. As a citizen, after 9 years of the administration in power, no goodies for us. So listen this. It was stated that the country will not have to borrow any finance or get any bailout from the International Monetary Fund. Do you believe that? I do not believe that. I don't believe that. But nevertheless, Finance Minister Imbut says, response to the public feedback in the interest of fairness, the property tax was reduced from 3% to 2%. You know why? Because the people talked. The people united. And if the people unite again, it's going to drop from 2% to 1%. To all your maths, people. To all your maths. Now, property tax deadline remains at November 29, 2024. By or before October 31st, there will be an online option to pay property tax. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, when the horse get away from the stable, you want to secure the door that was preventing the horse from coming out. You understand? So, you put a penalty on the people, you force them to go down by the BIR office, thousands of people lining up all over Trinidad and Tobago with thousands of dollars in their pocket, no security, nothing put in place for the old folks. But now you realize we need another option so that they could pay property tax. Online property, you're way off time, you're late. But then again, this is third world country, and this is how we do it in our country. When the horse come out from the stable, then we want to secure the stable for the horse. It's sad, eh? Imbut stated that when it comes to revenue collection, he will make sure that the Trinidad and Tobago Revenue Authority does not go after the little people like the nuts vendor who makes an honest living. He now realizes the nuts vendor making an honest living. We're going to take the call before we go to the video. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Sai. Great program, great topic, man. But this cashless society that this Imbut is talking about, this must be opposed and rejected by everyone in this society. That must not see the light of day in this country, because he explained, give an explanation and so on. But what about the man selling doubles? What about the man selling conks? What about the man selling fish? What's going to happen with him? You know, what's going to happen with these poor people on the street? You might be making garden, a man want a little do, can take up Peter Carmine. How you paying him? He have the accessories, the devices that you could pay, how he getting paid. So this must be rejected, totally rejected by the citizens of this country, and the unions here is where the unions come in again. I must tell you, Mr. Said, last Friday, I want to congratulate the union, the JTOM, they burned the property tax collection forms at the revenue office and down at the foreshore in Portsmouth. They burned those forms. A little too late, but to JTOM, congratulations, and you all keep up the heat. This cashless society is talking about must never see the light of day in this country. And to the police service, they give $7 billion budgeted to the police service. What is going to do to the police service? You talk about restructuring the police service. You talk about eradicating the rogue elements in the police service. You talk about that. So you come and put in $7 billion into the police service. What is going to happen? Nothing good is going to happen. The same thing is going to happen. Crime is going to spiral again because the citizens are not going to benefit anything from this budget. Definitely not the ordinary man. And to agriculture. They destroyed agriculture in this country. The PNF destroyed every aspect of agriculture in this country. They brought the snails from Africa and let it go in the agricultural sector in Aranguez. Now you're saying, okay, in 2025 you're going to rehabilitate cocoa and coffee and coconut. That is not going to happen in this country. And the opposition, I want to hear you come clean, and the union, you all keep up the great work, Mr. Said. Good job. I could go on, but I know other callers are there. But great job. I know you will continue with the topic here. I listen. God bless.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, listen to this video now concerning property tax.
Roll out the new property tax regime. Firstly, in response to public feedback and our commitment to fairness, this government reduced the property tax rate from 3% to 2% in 2024. Thereby alleviating the financial burden on property owners and ensuring that the new system is both equitable and manageable. Cognizant of lingering issues with some valuations, we have also extended the deadline for the Board of Inland Revenue to issue notices of assessment for property tax to October 31st, 2024. Further, last week, mindful of the last-minute nature of our society, where things are often left to the last minute possible, we extended the time for property owners to pay their property tax by 2 months, from September 30th, 2024 to November 29th, 2024. I also wish to advise that we expect to implement an online payment solution for property tax on or before October 31st, 2024. Allowing online bank transfers and card payments. The government wishes to make it clear that we have no intention of going after little people like nuts vendors who make an honest living and avoid getting involved in criminal activities. We have much bigger fish to fry.
The man says we have a much bigger fish to fry. Who is this big fish? I've been hearing about big fish since I born. The big fish and the big fish and the big fish. Eric Williams talk about the big fish. George Chambers talk about the big fish. Pasdale Pane talk about the big fish. A.N.I. Robinson talk about the big fish. Patrick Manning talk about the big fish. Keith Rowley talk about the big fish. Kamala Prasad talk about the big fish. And we haven't seen the big fish as yet. Call a good night.
Good night, Saidi, and to all your listeners.
Go right ahead, my friend.
I want to talk about the police, the PPPS. But first I want to find out from you. The gentleman, they use the police car to kidnap. Have they been released?
But we ain't hearing nothing about that as yet.
You understand?
I understand.
And that is an imitation police said, because if the police say no, who take the man?
Correct.
They are either part of it or they're not part of it. And imitation police has been on our ground for the longest while.
Correct.
And the police service is not disciplining the own officers. So let me comment, genuine comment I want to make. And this is evidence to show how the police service is political, and they support a particular political party. Two commissioners get Chakunia goal. And I trying to figure out what did they do to deserve that. That was based on meritocracy. One of them, he was the commissioner on the day of policing. He apparently did not discipline all those persons who allegedly take the day of policing to another level. Recently, there was a judgment where the new commissioner of police have to answer to two senior policemen for not being promoted.
Yes.
And it is alleged that a senior retired police officer was part of the interview. And I am asking, was that commissioner of police was part of that? And if he was part of that, why he gave those policing fellas, them senior police officers, promotion to ACP and senior superintendent? That was one police commissioner. The other police commissioner who got it is a fella by the name, you ever heard a footballer named Philbert Jones? But he ain't named that. He named a close like that. He was appointed the lead to hold all them alleged voter padders in 2001-2000 by a next commissioner of police named Hilton Guy. When the case came to the court 12 years after, all the cases were dismissed. He and all others are police who charged lose the file. What I am saying is the police service is not cleansing themselves, because what we have, all of those people who were part of all of that is in the leadership of the police service. That is why it is election coming again, and I want to see where and what they're going to do. The two things was to intimidate voters, and the other one was a wage negotiation that commissioner of police say he know nothing about it. The Joint Select Committee in 2014 say 3 senior police officers who was part of that supposed to have further investigated. One of them was the big man who is the host of a thing. They put him on leave. One was a lady. The Joint Select say leave it for the police commissioner and the leadership to investigation and to discipline. They do none.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, 89,441 residential owners have paid property tax, coming up to $91 million in annual revenue. This sum and property tax collected in 2025 will be distributed to the local government bodies in 2025. Finance Minister Mbert said, TNT is behind the world when it comes to cashless economy. He said, in India, there are 3 billion cashless transactions per day. He hits the opposition leader criticism for cashless economy. So Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, according to him, but we behind in cashless society. Okay, we have 1.4 million people in Trinidad and Tobago. $2.6 billion went missing because of our check clearance system, but we talking about cashless society. Understand what I'm saying? $2.6 billion went missing. Central Bank refused to give the Auditor General access to the check clearance system. But we talking about a cashless society moving forward. It's sad, eh? It really, really sad. Emmett says the National Investment Fund, the NIF, has consistently met all of its financial obligations on the bond issued by government. So hear this. Emmett said, creation of TT Mortgage Bank makes homeowners more accessible and leveling the playing field. Finance Minister Clark Emmett stated, or he says, there have been over 150 road rehabilitation projects on the secondary road network, but yet they want to close down that department. Over 80 of these projects have been completed to date. 100 new road paving program in 2025 at a cost of $210 million. Caller, good night.
Hello?
Go right ahead, you're live.
Hello, Mr. Saieed Ali. Good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Let's hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I have a question for you concerning the Real Talk 4% investment on your program. Hello?
Well, if you have to have a talk with me concerning my investment, call me tomorrow at 339-1670 and we go talk. Thank you, my friend. They will give you the number there. Now, viewers, in Manzalina, the Manzalina-Mayaro Road will be completed in January 2025 at a cost of $177 million. Finance Minister Emma says the government stands to achieve higher return from the exporting of LNG. The LNG restructuring will begin from tomorrow. So somebody going home or many people going home? Are we going to hear another SPNA voice saying, don't ask me how much, all going? Serious? Call a good night.
Talk about this on TV.
Hello? Okay. So remember that, viewers. Restructuring is going to take place from tomorrow on LNG department. Now, the country food import bills remain high and is estimated at $7.2 billion. Addressing food security remains government top priority. The government top priority is the food bill. But what are you doing for agriculture? You did nothing. Nothing. And I believe agriculture budget was slashed by half. It was slashed by half. So what actually are you doing to drop the importation bill? Minister of Finance says 900 acres of land earmarked for the... I'll feel this man foolish and joke. 900 acres of land have been earmarked for the planting of coconut in an effort to revitalize this sector of the Trinidad and Tobago agriculture. Government will utilize digital transformation to support the agri-sector. He says rehabilitation of the cocoa industry is of high priority to the government. How long are you going to wait for cocoa to bear? How long are you going to wait for coconut to bear? Is that helping the agriculture sector? You be the judge. Call a good night.
Very good evening to you, Mr. Said.
To you, my friend.
So the analogy here is while the grass growing, the horse stopping, according to
Exactly, yes.
But here it is. In my opinion, I think agriculture should get the biggest chunk of the budget.
Exactly.
We're talking about food security.
Yes.
Every minute they're talking about food security. But yet still, no subsidies for the farmers.
True.
And no tenure of land.
Exactly.
Is out of hand. They have 8 vehicles, right? They had 9 vehicles for prayer last week. One flash the other day, break the red light and mash it up.
Correct.
They have 8. So each vehicle, and I'm not counting Tobago now. I don't know if Tobago have any, but each vehicle has to patrol an area of 255 square miles. It's just madness. But here the greatest. When last somebody call your program and tell you a joke? Well, let me tell you a joke. The Prime Minister said the other day, think about the positive thing they have achieved. Well, here what it is easier for me to tell him the names in alphabetical order and the addresses of all the people who perish on the Titanic. All the best.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, Imbud went on to say Pantrinbago headquarters on Rising Road, Port of Spain, a cost of $120 million. $120 million. But they slash agriculture by half. Yeah. It's sad, you know. It's sad. But nevertheless, moving along. Over the last 10 years, police have seized 7,683 illegal guns. 3,986 people murdered with the use of illegal firearm over a period. Government has financed TDPS to June of $26 billion over the last 10-year period. 153,510 rounds of illegal firearm rounds was also seized. Listen to this.
Safety and security. Madam Speaker, notwithstanding all the good things we have to report and feel good about, it goes without saying that the one area of greatest intransigent difficulty which remains and continues to resist our best efforts is violent behavior, crime and criminality, largely highlighted by violent murder involving the use of illegal firearms. Over the last 10 years, the police have extracted 7,683 illegal guns and 153,510 rounds of illegal ammunition from the criminal element. Notwithstanding this, 3,986 persons were killed over the same period with the use of firearms. Further, the government has financed the police to the tune of $26 billion over that same 10-year period, and will continue to provide all possible available financial resources to the police in the fight against crime.
So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to tell you how much vehicle TTPS you're going to purchase in the next few years, right after.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid upfront. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery. At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
So welcome back to Real Talk viewers. So I want to ask a question tonight. Could the governor of Central Bank tell the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago if the country has been on a decline with our GDP ratio for the last 3 years? I need somebody from Central Bank to state to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago whether our GDP grew in the last 3 years or it declined in the last 3 years. Let me tell you something. When that information hits in the public domain, you all are going to be surprised. Klangenberg said we have grown. Good? But I will wait for Central Bank to release the GDP statistics over the last 3 years for Trinidad and Tobago. And then we're going to know who's telling the truth. Then we're going to know. So now, police vehicle. The TTPS will acquire over 2,000 vehicles in the next 3 years. Embed say TTPS has advised it is purchasing more body cams to war by police officers, additional speed guns, and technology for quicker fingerprinting. Gate is expected to undergo several enhancements in the last quarter of 2024. Mind you, we are in September, we're going to start October just now, where this is the last quarter. TNTech and the RIC completed the price review by publishing the final determination of electricity transmission and distribution sector for Trinidad and Tobago 2023 to 2028. That will ensure a fair pricing and improved service quality. This determination is still being considered by the government, and I tell all the electricity going to raise. All I want to listen Saieed. All I want to bash Saieed. But the same people who always say we love is the same people forcing you to dig deeper in your pockets. But you're blinded by party. Don't be blinded by party. Just now you cannot buy 1 block of soap for you to bathe. You might have to use breeze or squeezy. Trust me. I know what I'm telling all you. Now listen to this, eh? From 2021 to 2024, old age pension has cost the government 16.6 billion, impacting 114,047 people. The public assistance grant has cost 1.2 billion, impacting 15,605 people. The disability assistance grant, inclusive of minors, is costing the government $2.4 billion, impacting 24,845 people. Caller, good night. Hello?
Hello, Saeed. Good night.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Well, let me tell you something. You see this budget with a short man make here? That is for the young, stupid people in Trinidad and Tobago. The young, stupid people. Because they may care nothing about old people who are to beg for that same little $500 a month.
This budget?
That they live on it.
This budget is for the under 18.
Yeah, that's what it is. For the young, stupid people, not the smart one of them. The young, stupid one. And next thing again, you see all them ministers, them, before they get into office, people should make it a law that they declare all the assets and all the family and friends. Because if they have it on their name, they have it on the family and friends' name when they become billionaires. They should declare the assets before they go into office. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend. So now, viewers, a deficit now of $5.5 billion for the social program. Imagine that, eh? Total revenue, $54.24 billion. Total expenditure, $59.741 billion. So the expenditure is more than the revenue. Fiscal deficit is $5.517 billion. Trinidad and Tobago, we are growing, you know. I want to let you understand this. There is no growth in Trinidad and Tobago. 3 companies have shortlisted for the purchase of the refinery. Minimum wage from public sector employees will be increased from $20.50 to $22.50 per hour. If you're looking for growth in Trinidad and Tobago, ask Central Bank for the GDP statistics for the last 3 years, and then you will know if Trinidad and Tobago grew or we fell. I won't tell you to do that. I want somebody to do that. Call the program, let Trinidad and Tobago know what took place. Trust me, you'll be surprised. Fiscal allocation for 2025. Education and training, $7.512 billion. Health, $7.571 billion. National security, $6.113 billion. Public utilities, $3.221 billion. Infrastructure, $1.862 billion. Local and rural development, $1.771 billion. Transport, $1.410 billion. Agriculture, $1.184 billion. And housing, you get $0.750 billion. I'm going to tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. You see the next 4 or 5 years to come? Trust me, all you want to leave Trinidad. Because quickly, as we see, we are becoming a Haiti. It's sad to say, but this is the reality. With low levels of gas production and a less than favorable market, Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali said, there will be difficult times for Trinidad and Tobago until the new gas production 2027. Rowley said, seismic work in progressing on the proven field such as with Manakin, giving confidence that there is a strong flow of gas coming from the border and across the border in the medium term. Therefore, he said, Trinidad and Tobago has to be responsible and hold the fort. Since Dr. Saieed Ali came into power 9 years ago, we have been tightening our belt. We have been holding the fort. And you know what this man said? Hold the fort for the next 2 years. Hold the fort for the next 2 years. Tax reduction for ministers. Pension increase for ministers. But they are telling you to hold the fort. Buying a new vehicle, tax-free. Going to a big hotel in Trinidad, they're eating free food. They're flying out of the country. But them telling you to hold the fort until 2027. Any one of them holding the fort? I'm asking you a question. Any one of them holding the fort? Is any one of them going to take a pay cut? Ask yourself that question now. And you love them? You love them? You have to pay property tax, you love them. You take a loan on your property, you have to pay property tax, but I love you. Serious? All of that foolish? Call a good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Saeed, I just have one point I want to make tonight, buddy.
Talk to me.
Prime Minister talking this talk again. Every time he jump out himself, he just talk out of time and say, and the country just run with the sound. This man talking is out of time and talk about tightening your belt again. Let me tell you something, right? I just want to make myself real brief here. He expect we to tighten we belt.
Again, yes.
Last 9 years. For the last 9 years, we tighten we belt, right? Tell me if I'm wrong, you know.
No, you're correct.
They're doing mega projects all over the country. That overpass they make by West Small that nobody don't use. $500 million. We didn't need that. We didn't need our airport in Tobago. The waterfront project we're doing in San Fernando, we didn't need that.
You know, I seen in Houston, I spent $150 million on that Manzalina road.
Yes.
What's how long they fixing that road?
Correct.
They fixed it, collapse again, they fixed it again. A contractor who does rent tent and table and chair for the government do a housing project. All the house falling down there. All that money wasted for this man telling we tight. We don't know how much you want we to tight we does. Listen. The fact of the matter is, I made this point already in your program side. The people squander any money and then they expect we to dip in we pocket to pay property tax. The full bag of treasury, that ain't gonna work, boy. It can't work. That can't work. When he doing it, he's talking madness again. And right outside, you can see what that little protest there is on it, people just generally fed up. And what's going on in the country, but the poor man alone feeling it out here, right? Nobody else is feeling it because there are people out there that live in lavish lives, you know.
Yes.
And it's we, the people that go out there and actually doing the manual work and feel it out there. And let me tell you something, before I go, right? Yes, I was listening to a program. And they were saying that all the finance minister saying that the nuts man and this man and that man ain't going to get that. Let me ask you a question, right? When you create a body, the body will pick and choose people who they're going to attack, so everybody gets attacked across the board. Tell me that. How that's supposed to work?
Not everybody going to get taxed.
How they're going to pick and choose people? The same people the breaks in now, and the same people they was laughing at in Parliament.
Correct.
Who does it for lorry? And
yes.
Double. When it is all changing over the currencies, and people couldn't explain when they had the money put on in their house, because they put it and saving every week, and the money pile up, and now they couldn't explain how they accumulate the money, how they didn't want to listen to the people, and they was laughing at them, and the same people.
Yes.
So now because our election coming next year now, he coming to talk about the same people that was laughing at 2 years ago.
Correct.
That's why they wouldn't ask them. Listen, guys, people need to wake up and see what's going on. This government is not for poor people. People need to understand and try to get rid of them next year. Anyhow, side, you enjoy it, man.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, I'll listen to this video. Your eye might open.
The period between now and 2027, second quarter, would be one of difficulty for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, because the current levels at which we are producing and the market situation would cause us, or should cause us, to be responsible and hold the fort with a very good view and good confidence that come 2027, we will be in a better position with this industry.
Previously, the opening to sell gas to Atlantic was for those who had equity in the plan. However, Rowley said, Atlantic restructuring has caused third parties to invest more. Do you believe that? Do you believe that, Trinidad and Tobago? So listen to this now as we move on. Joint Trade Union Movement JTAM President Ansel Roger says the PNM government, led by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, misled the population with their position on property tax to gain their vote in 2015 general election. Saying that Rowley fooled the population, Roger added that the PNM has no connection with the people on the ground. This, he said, was the reason he was calling on the population to reject property tax. Listen to this now.
This is a government that is ruling by fear. The fear-mongering. They drive fear in the hearts of the citizens, and those citizens have to comply. Today, we are rejecting this tax. Members of JTAM, we are outrightly rejecting this. And we are saying to the government, have a heart.
You fool the population, and as you come into office, you begin to unleash a reign of terror. Their heads are stuck in the clouds, and so there is no communication or no sympathy, no connection with the people on the ground, no connection with the suffering masses. And they are the same suffering masses that they will go and not too long from now and try to fool them again and ask them to put them back in office to do what? To continue to unleash more pressure.
So viewers, after some time of me hammering trade unions, where are the trade unions in Trinidad and Tobago? Roger decided to say something. After weeks of calling out the unions in Trinidad and Tobago, he decided to say something. Now listen to this. The voice heard in the recording referred to property tax as dreaded. In the voice note, Rowley said the property tax has already been dealt with, and to bring back property tax was a high level of dishonesty. Now listen to this.
Let me make it abundantly clear. The property tax has already been dealt with. So for anybody in the government now to be telling the population that this PNM coming into office will bring back that tax is the highest level of dishonesty.
That is Rowley's voice. That is the Prime Minister's voice of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm telling you something, Trinidad and Tobago. In the coming months, all you're going to feel the pinch. Trust me, all you're going to feel it. He explained that JTM has never been against paying tax. But he believed now was not the time to reintroduce property tax. In March, the PM said he was willing to lose the election over property tax issue. Earlier this week, Minister of Finance Clong Burt announced another extension for the payment of property tax to November 29. An email was also sent to the Ministry of Finance asking if the minister will even consider meeting with Roger to discuss some of their concerns on property tax. But there was no response up to date. I'm going to tell you something. It's not about meeting with the Prime Minister. It's about the trade union leaders. It's about the trade union leaders in this country coming together to stand with the citizens who they care so much for, to force Clong Burt, the Minister of Finance, to reduce the property tax from 2% to 1% now. It's not about meeting with the Prime Minister, you know. Prime Minister done say, you know what? If I lose the election, I lose it over property tax. He do business. That's his words. Right? But JTM want to meet him. What you meeting them for? The Prime Minister already said what he had to say. He already said what he had to say. He don't mind losing election. But you must pay a property tax. So where's the union leaders of this country now who love their followers? Where are they? Are they going to stand for you? Or you're going to have to battle property tax? Moving on. Former police commissioner and now leader of the National Transformation Alliance, NTA, Gary Griffith, took a break from his usual political commentary on Sunday to urge young people to give thanks to God by attending their respective weekly worship service. However, religious head says crime is keeping not just youth, but other congregations away. In a post to social media, Griffith said he was observant and dwelling attendance of the service, especially among the youngsters or the young demographic. Griffith called for the situation to be rectified regardless of personal religion. Listen to this.
What I have noticed post-COVID, especially in the Catholic churches, is some degree of absenteeism by persons, especially younger persons. And when I say younger, I mean persons between the age of 20 to 40 odd. And maybe because of the era that we live in now with technology, social media, where young persons get bored easily. So it may be difficult for them to come to church. But what I've asked is that, just remember, God has given us 168 hours a week to live, 168 hours every week. So if he has asked for us to give some degree of sacrifice and recognition for him, for 1 hour out of that 168 hours, it is not asking too much. So I will ask young persons, let's go back to pre-COVID. Let's go back to the period where it is that we would have time to make sacrifice to the person who has put us here. It is more than just prayers. It is for us to show a degree of recognition before the Almighty. So to young persons and persons who have stopped going to church are post-COVID, let's try our best. 1 hour to 168 hours would not hurt.
I'm not going to say it was Ula again, you know. I'm not going to say it was Ula. Trinidad and Tobago. During the coming days, we are Real Talk here. We're going to bring you more on the budget that have been presented today in the Parliament, read by Minister of Finance, Clongenberg. So it is that time we have to say good night, but nevertheless, until we meet again, be safe.